Hi you guys, it's Marci Sauter, the Rusty Blonde. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm super excited to come on and show you guys how to make clear envelopes for your personal planner size agendas or the agenda and things like that. They are awesome and they're side loading instead of mine, which these are mine, which I currently use in my planner. Let me just remove this for you. So, and these are great. I've loved these. However, I got to thinking and I'm like, oh my gosh, these are pretty pricey. I think they're like $4 something for one tiny envelope, and it can just add up. So I got to playing around and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna figure out how to do these and make them side loading, so it's a lot more convenient to put money in and out of. So there's that. I'll show you the top loading. You kind of have to curl and tuck in like so, which, like I said, that's a great option, but this is way more convenient. So with that being said, I'm going to show you guys how to make your own little envelopes. Super easy. Let's go over the supplies. You will need your laminating sheets, which I get these off of Amazon. You will need your actual laminator, which I also got mine off of Amazon. Your personal size hole puncher for your ring bound planners. And then my corner round punch, which I use to round all the corners. The last thing you're going to need is some sort of paper cutter. This is my favorite. This is probably my third one, and this is by far my favorite. It's a deluxe version, so it's really well made. The blade is titanium steel, so it's awesome. And anyways, it just glides back and forth. I will link everything I use down below so that you guys can find out where to purchase your own if you want to. But all of this I ordered from Amazon. I think the only thing I didn't was this hole puncher, but you can get one on Amazon. So let's jump right in and make some envelopes. Okay, so this envelope here is 4 by 6 3/4. The first thing you're gonna do, now that you have the size in mind, is we're going to get our laminating sheets. And I'm going to pull out 2 sheets. You need 2 sheets, and it's going to make 3 envelopes. The very first thing I do is I cut off the rounded edge. You can see here that all of the corners are rounded, and I just slip this in here and I cut those off. Like so. Now I'm going to flip this over and I'm going to make my 3.5 inch cuts. It's hard to see because this is clear, but I'm basically, you're gonna use the ruler. This edge here, I'm gonna pull it to 3.5 inches, which it's right there. You make sure it's lined up with this edge here, and I'm gonna cut it. And I have my first 3.5 inch cut. I'm gonna lift this up and do it again. Move the edge to 3.5. And cut it. There's my second. And now for my third, same thing. Put it to 3.5 and cut it. Now you're going to measure your 6 3/4 inch. You know what? I have to measure really quick. I think this might have been 6 1/2. It is. Okay, I'm glad I corrected that. So this centerpiece, this first cut is going to be at 6 1/2. So you line that up and you slice it. So these are 3 1/2 by 6 1/2. You just line it up here and then you cut. Last one. And I'm doing this in a set of 3 so that I don't waste any laminate paper. So now you have your piece like so. And regular laminate paper is glossy, a shiny finish on each side, but inside it's a very dull and non-shiny finish. So what you want to do is you take these apart and you're going to flip the shiny part together. And now both sides have the dull side out. Okay, so there's one. Two. And last one, I'm going to flip it like so. And now I have the 3. I'm going to put that aside and turn on my laminator. And in the meantime, I'm going to show you how to line up your envelopes. So now you take your second sheet of laminate paper. You're going to open it up like so. And you're going to get your first envelope. Remember the dull sides? The dull sides are facing out. You're going to line it up like so, the best you can. It's kind of like one of those optical illusions when you're dealing with plain see-through paper. So I line it up, and the first thing I do is stick it in the edge of my laminating paper. And I just stick it to the edge because that's the side I'm going to be slicing for my opening. There was a lot of trial and error doing this, you guys. The first set I forgot to flip and sandwiched, and it was all laminated closed. So don't forget to flip your paper or else this will not work. And then the second one, I slip in this side. And again, I'm going to stick this as close to the edge as possible because that is what I will cut away. And now for this third one, I put the edge closest to this edge here. And again, it's because you have to cut off the seam of this edge in order to make it an envelope. Okay, so now I have my 3 envelopes inside of my laminate sheet. I just take a piece of cardstock to support it so it does not fall. And now we're going to feed this through the laminator. Okay, go ahead and power off your machine. Move it aside. Pull your paper cutter out for the next portion. Okay, so you have your paper slicer out. The next step, this might be hard to see because I'm working with clear, but the first thing I'm going to do is slice this edge just above the opening to have this envelope be opened. And how I do that, I find the edge of the slicer and I just move it on the other side of that just to cut off that opening. Let's see if that worked. And it did. So now you have the opening to your first envelope. I then flip this over and I'm going to measure it to 4. I'm going to do right above 4 inches. So like 4 1/8 is what I'm going to do. and I'm going to slice it. Okay, and now this is the piece, what your piece should look like. Next, I'm going to trim the edges. So how I do the edges is on this cutter, I just bring the seam, the seal right here, I bring that right up to the cutter, and so it'll cut like an eighth of an inch from that seam, and it's like perfect. Do that, flip it over, do the other side. And you guys, now you have your envelope, okay? Next, you take your hole puncher, you set it to personal size. So I have mine already set to personal size. Make sure it didn't move, yep. And you just slip this edge in here. And now you have the holes in your envelope. I'm going to put $1 or $100 bill in there so you can see how it looks. And they do not slip out. Like, you will not lose your money, so you do not have to worry about that. But this is your envelope. It's pretty awesome. So the last step is to take your corner round punch, and I just stick each of the corners in and punch out the corners. There we go. And now I have all corners rounded, and you have awesome side loading, oh my gosh, side loading envelopes that are strong and durable and very affordable. Okay, so I'm going to do one more with you. And what I mean is we're going to cut one more together so you get the hang of it, and you can always re-watch this video. But now for this one, I'm going to cut off both of the edges just as I did before. You line it up just past where the blade meets and cut off the edge. I'm going to flip it and do the other envelope edge. This blade on this cutter is amazing. Okay, and now I'm going to go ahead and line, actually I'll go ahead and cut the envelope first. So I'll cut this one first, so I'm going to put it to 4 inches, and it's probably an 1/8. And then this one we will line up the edge. To cut this seam off. This one I cut a little wide, so I'm going to have to trim it again. I didn't put it in far enough. There we go. It's hard to see with my lighting and then it all being clear. But now you have that, and now we're going to measure this one at 4 inches and an 1/8. Cut it. And now again, you have your clear envelopes. Hole punch it. I forgot to cut the edge of this one. I'm like, what's going on here? So I'm just going to line that up really quick. Now I can hole punch this one. Round the edges. And you guys, this is such an easy way and affordable way to make your own cash envelopes. So don't do what I did and spend $4 something on an envelope. So there you have it. There are your clear envelopes. Amazing, easy to do. To personalize them, you can either do dividers, or you can use stickers, you can use permanent marker, whatever. But I love the clear because then I can actually see. And when you add the little register to the top, you know, nobody else will see what's in there except for you. You'll know right there. And then you can pull out your money. Very easy, super convenient. So guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below. These are super easy to make. Like I said, it was a lot of trial and error for me, but I got it down to where it should be pretty simple for you guys to try and make at home. So I do have a little announcement. I am working on a giveaway for planner stuff, agenda things. So if you are new to my channel, be sure to subscribe if you want more details on my giveaway. I'm actually going to be doing 2 giveaways. One for what's in my bag items, and then the other with fun agenda planner items. So look forward to that in the future, and I'll give more details along the way. But anyway, so that's super exciting. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps out my channel, and it helps support me in doing my YouTube. But anyways, super fun, easy way to do your own envelopes, and will save you a bunch of money. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on my next video. Bye.